Alright guys, hey, Toolman Tim here, doing my best impression of the Jetta days. If you guys know what that is, great. But I am on the road. This has been 4 days now that I have been driving. Been driving from sunup to sunset the first 2 days, so really didn't have any time or even motivation to make any content. Yesterday I drove through Camden, stopped at Tactical Response just to get the lay of the land because I'm going to be coming in there really late Sunday night. So I figured what better way to be prepared than to drive through there. It only added a couple hours to the overall 34-hour trip, so it wasn't a big deal. And now I am approaching North Carolina. I'm not too far out. I've knocked a ton of states off my visiting list or drive-through list. The checklist is getting smaller. I think I got like 14 of the contiguous states left to travel through, but it's been really good. So yeah, 4-day road trip. What are my thoughts so far? Well, I can definitely handle traveling by myself, but I don't love it. I definitely prefer having someone sitting shotgun being co-pilot. It just makes it that much more enjoyable. You know, you have somebody to talk to, somebody to share your thoughts with, somebody to slap you when you're tired, that kind of stuff. Although the only day I was really tired was the very first day when I started at like 3:45 in the morning. But I just couldn't sleep, so it was time to get going. Booking hotels online ahead of time can be effective, but also can be a bit of a pain because when you book them online, they tend to send you to certain ones. So what I found my best bet is when I know I'm starting to get toward the end of being tired, I give myself about an hour, and then I pick one of the hotels right off an exit. So what I find with those is they tend to be in the built up, serving to the long distance traveler kind of clientele and the local highway workers, that kind of stuff. So you might pay just a little bit more, but when you pull in there, you know you're going to get a pretty decent hotel. You also know that there's going to be good places to eat. Both places I stopped at, of course, were right across the street from a Waffle House, so there's that. And last night was Cracker Barrel. So first night I stopped in first night I stopped in Fargo. Second night I stopped just outside of St. Louis. And last night I stopped just outside of Nashville, traveling some territory that I traveled this spring with the missus. And speaking of which, there's another Cracker Barrel and a Waffle House as we go. But yeah, so as far as hotels, that's been my better luck because the first one we booked online ended up being absolutely dumpy. So I would rather drive up, get close, see if I've got 3 or 4 hotels to pick from, and then pick one. Also, when you're traveling, I really appreciate an indoor an indoor hotel as opposed to a motel. I don't like, having the vehicle or where somebody can walk right in from outdoors. I like a little bit of controlled access. If it's a 2 or 3 story one, find yourself something with an elevator if you got a bunch of luggage. The first one I stopped at was 2nd floor and it didn't have an elevator and it was dumpy. But also try to find somewhere where you can park your vehicle right outside of the window of your room. I've always found that to be it gives you a little more peace of mind, so you can keep an eye and an ear out just in case some ne'er-do-wells, because just about any one of these cities you stop in, you end up having troubles. There's just always ruffian around. Let's just leave it at that. As far as prepping for my presentations, what I found a neat little, I'm going to do a whole episode or at least a whole segment on putting together presentations and that sort of thing. But what I found, of course, was make sure you have all your notes put together before you leave, because obviously I'm not going to be sitting and typing while I'm driving or when I get there at the end of the night. But have everything prepped ahead of time. And then what I would do was practice my presentation in the hotel that night, record it, and then listen to it once during my 10-hour drive the next day. And then I would find, it would help build gray matter memory. It would help build memory there. And then it would allow me to think about the changes I wanted to make and then repeat the process again that night and then do it each night until I'm comfortable doing it just from my 1-page outline, which I am now. And yeah, so this will be the first time that I've had the opportunity to give the same presentation more than once. It's going to be 3 times over 3 days. I'm kind of excited. I got some opportunities to meet some really cool people coming up, including the musical guest, 5 Times July, which is really kind of neat. Looking forward to that. Beyond that, what else is on the go? You always want to stop and see people when you're traveling, but it's never anything personal to anybody, but it is so damn hard. I get in the zone for driving, and all I want to do is keep driving. If I'm 2 days, I put in 14-hour days, and all I want to do is just keep making the miles. And as soon as I interrupt that, I lose my flow. I don't know what it is. That's just me. But if I want to put a long ass old day in, I don't want to stop. If I got to make a stop somewhere for more than gas, that it just seems to cut into about half the day. And I don't know why that is. Maybe that's on me. But for me, I just love to make my miles. So I'm interested in seeing what Prepper Camp's going to be like. This will be my first time going there. It's my first time in North Carolina. Going to be just interesting to see what the crowd's like. If it's anything based on Rick and Jane, who have built this from the ground up and are the ones who run it, I'm sure it's going to be absolutely awesome. But it's really cool to get involved with or interested in a whole nother community of people that I haven't met before. So I'm really looking forward to making those contacts for sure. A few other things. As far as staying keto on the road, I've done really, really well. The first thing I did was the missus helped me pack up a lot of, quick keto foods, which was basically, pepperoni sticks, jerky, anything like that. And I just had them there to snack. I brought myself a case of Diet Pepsi, a case of water, and I really never had to stop for a quick snack on the road. Now also though, even if you plan on being 100% strict on keto while you're driving, the big thing is cut yourself some slack. Now, I knew I was coming to the States, and I have been 100% strict keto for the last 6-8 weeks now, doing really well. And I told myself, you know what, I'm going to go, I'll probably hit Waffle House a couple of times. I'll try to stick to sausage and eggs, but I'll probably end up having a waffle one night. Will I pay for it? Yeah, I'll pay for it. But I also know that it's very rare that I get to the States and I'm going to have a little treat, and then I'm going to just keep on keeping on. And what else is great about eating keto on the road, if you're careful, is you don't really need any refrigeration, because all that stuff, whether it's nuts or dry pepperoni sticks or jerky, it all just stores in a bag beside me. So that's what I did. Snacks on the floor, drinks on the seat, and just travel. I think the longest stretch I did was 5 hours without stopping, so that was pretty good. I try to set myself to a half a tank of fuel, so when I get to half a tank, that's when I start looking for somewhere to stop and fuel up. Always remember to clean your windshield every time you stop as well, because the bugs, it's funny, you don't realize it, and then all of a sudden, oh my goodness, my windshield is absolutely atrocious. Now, beyond that, I've seen so much cool stuff, and I decided this time I just wasn't going to take a lot of pictures. I just want them to be my memories. I went across a beautiful bridge in Kentucky, where I crossed the Mississippi, which I really enjoyed. There was a beautiful bridge in Kansas City that had really nice, tall, white cables coming off, just beautiful. Just so much interesting stuff. I seen the best chain lightning I have ever seen in my life. The first morning I got on the road, it was, it wasn't too warm, but it was warm enough, and I was heading towards Saskatoon in Saskatchewan, and it was pitch black, and all of a sudden the sky would just be lit up with 5 or 6 beautiful bolts of lightning all at once. Kind of like this orange and yellow, and as fast as it was there, it was gone. And that was just, I enjoyed that a lot. And a few other things. I had planned on trying to find myself a place to do laundry. I should have done it last night and I forgot, but that's okay. I mean, I brought enough clothes for probably 10, 12 days, so I'm good for now, but I like to stay on top of it just so you don't get behind. I'm just starting to come into some absolutely gorgeous mountains here, which are beautiful. Now, as far as prepping for Prepper Camp, I tried to do my best to remember everything or to plan everything, but it doesn't always happen as much as you want to. I did forget a folding table, so I stopped at Walmart today to get that. I forgot to print some literature for my area or for my table. That's okay too. I was hoping that my hotel would have a business center last night, and they did, but they didn't have any printing capabilities, so that kind of sucked. So you make do with what you have. I printed up some nice brochures or some nice certificates beforehand because I'm going to do a giveaway for a 1-year subscription to the Patch of the Month Club. While I was on the road, it was really cool. You guys all seemed to get your patches, and we weren't wrong. Nate and Aaron in Illinois ended up getting theirs before Chris, who lives in the same province as me, Alberta, in Canada. So go figure. Yay, Canada Post, right? But yeah, I've just really been enjoying it. I love driving the interstates. I know I've told my American friends this so much, but there is nothing better than the interstates for making time and fairly safe travel. And man, don't you guys love to drive fast down here. So I'll come back on with you guys at some point. I want to try to do a live stream from Prepper Camp, but I do not know how good the data is there. They say there's Wi-Fi, which would be great. It'd be nice to be able to live stream from Wi-Fi as opposed to using the rather expensive American data plan on my Canadian phone, but it's got to be, it's got to be. We'll figure it out. And then I'll do a recap of Prepper Camp, and then I'm straight. I leave Prepper Camp at 6 o'clock North Carolina time, and I need to be in Camden, Tennessee for 7:30, 8 o'clock Tennessee time the next morning. So I'm going to drive as far as I can. I got a hotel booked, hopefully get within an hour or two of Camden, and then get up early and be the tactical response for the training, which is kind of exciting. So I'll do an after training podcast on that one for you, and then when Self-Reliance Festival's over, I'll do an after action report on that one for you too, to fill you in. But beyond that, guys, that's probably it for me today. Just looking forward to getting off the road and chilling for a bit, even if it requires sleeping in a tent, which I don't do very often. So guys, that's it for me. As always, stay happy, stay healthy, and have a great week.